Up next, we track the rise and rise of one of Britain's most talented. The Scottish songbird who's had the most remarkable, life-changing experience imaginable, going from obscurity to stardom overnight. And now, of course, we're all delighted to have Susan Boyle here in Australia. She's further away from her home than she's ever been before. Here on the other side of the world, having fun without koalas and kangaroos. Out and about, taking in the sights. And getting due recognition for the 1 million albums she's already sold in Australia. Susan Boyle is, of course, a phenomenon, bursting into the lives of millions just 2.5 years ago with that show-stopping performance on Britain's Got Talent. You have shown that dreams can come true, haven't you?
Well, they can come true, yeah. You've got to be determined to make them come true as well. I took a lot of knocks into process.
What was it that kept you going?
I didn't know for an answer because I was most determined. So-and-so you could ever meet. I just wouldn't take no for an answer. I had a point to prove that I could do it.
And when you finally saw that look on Simon and everyone's face when they realised that there was this huge groundswell of support for you, that must have been...
I actually thought, oh my God, what have I done?
What she did was create an instant career, releasing the fastest selling debut album in UK history. And following that up with a Christmas album. It's been an amazing ride.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind. Too much to take in. I mean, 1 minute you're alone with a cat in the house, and the next minute you're on a TV programme, and the next minute everybody knows you.
They certainly do. Susan Boyle has become one of the most talked about people on the planet.
I never read anything in the press. A lot of it's exaggeration. So I just would like to get on with the job of what I'm doing, and I love the job too much to actually bother what other people think.
When you've performed for millions, is it hard to go back home and shut the door and make a cup of tea?
It's fairly easy in Blackburn because it's a close-knit community and they're all level-headed. I like to stay grounded.
And now, of course, Susan's got a new album, Someone to Watch Over Me. And it seems they're doing a pretty good job.
Well, I've become more mature, a wee bit more confident, and more able to handle things, because when it all began, it was really such a roller coaster. You didn't really have time to think about things. But I'm very much in the zone now and really looking forward to doing more.
And of course, this morning, Susan's stepping our way and will be performing live in this very studio very soon. Susan Boyle, making dreams come true today.
I reach for your
Well, when I say this very studio, I really mean that studio.
The really huge one next door.
Do you want to have a look?
Why not? Could you?
You can't do that.
Can we do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Let's see if we can do it.
Oh,
Susan,
hey,
of course, here we go.
Look at you.
You
He
and your
talks.
terms.
Susan Boyle, of course, performing 3 songs. Don't you love watching Cameron walk
Vicky.
backwards? 3 songs in our studio. This is all Jeepers Creepers. That's got to hurt. Hey, of course, the great news is that Susan has just heard this morning. She's got a big smile on her face that the album Someone to Watch Over Me is the fastest-selling album in the UK. It's only been out a couple of days. Very exciting. Let's just have a little look in here. There's a door there. Ow. Okay. She's actually rehearsing at the moment. There she is.
How good does that look? Fantastic. And Susan Boyle will be performing 3 songs live after 8 o'clock this morning.
I've looked at love from both sides now.
Oh, that's beautiful, Carl. Maybe you could do backing vocals.
We are thrilled. Are we thrilled? Very thrilled, I think, to welcome into our studios the Scottish songbird who's had the most remarkable, life-changing experience imaginable, going from obscurity to stardom overnight. And now, all of us here in the studio and all around Australia are delighted to have Susan Boyle here in Australia. She's further away from her home than she's ever been before. Here on the other side of the world, having fun without koalas and kangaroos. Out and about, taking in the sights. And getting due recognition for the 1 million albums she's already sold in Australia. Susan Boyle is, of course, a phenomenon, bursting into the lives of millions just 2.5 years ago with that show-stopping performance on Britain's Got Talent. You have shown that dreams can come true, haven't you?
Well, they can come true, yeah. You've got to be determined to make them come true as well. I took a lot of knocks into process.
What was it that kept you going?
I didn't know for an answer because I was most determined. The most determined so-and-so you could ever meet. I wouldn't take no for an answer. I had a point to prove that I could do it.
And when you finally saw that look on Simon and everyone's face when they realised that there was this huge groundswell of support for you, that must have been...
I actually thought, oh my God, what have I done?
What she did was create an instant career, releasing the fastest selling debut album in UK history. And following that up with a Christmas album. It's been an amazing ride.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind. Too much to take in. I mean, one minute you're alone with a cat in the house, and the next minute you're on a TV programme, and the next minute everybody knows you.
They certainly do. Susan Boyle has become one of the most talked about people on the planet.
I never read anything in the press. A lot of it's exaggeration. So I just would like to get on with the job of what I'm doing, and I love the job too much to actually bother what other people think.
When you've performed for millions, is it hard to go back home and shut the door and make a cup of tea?
It's fairly easy in Blackburn because it's a close-knit community and they're all level-headed. I like to stay grounded.
And now, of course, Susan's got a new album, Someone to Watch Over Me. And it seems they're doing a pretty good job.
Well, I've become more mature, a wee bit more confident, and more able to handle things, because when it all began, it was really such a roller coaster. You didn't really have time to think about things. But I'm very much in the zone now and really looking forward to doing more.
And of course, this morning, Susan's stepping our way and will be performing live in this very studio very soon. Susan Boyle, making dreams come true today.
I reach for your
Oh, what a remarkable journey it's been. Just wonderful.
Hey,
We've got some excited people from all around Australia here, and even one or two have come all the way from New Zealand. Is that right? There you go, the home of the World Cup. We've got lots of people from around Australia here looking forward to seeing Susan Boyle. She's going to be performing 3 songs live. She's going to be standing right on this very spot. She's heading back to the UK today, but not before she comes into this studio and sings for us. I must just say that her new album, Someone to Watch Over Me, is out right now, of course. It's the highest selling album in the UK just after a couple of days, and of course going gangbusters here in Australia as well. Susan Boyle is coming up very shortly.
Dickie! Wow.
Stevie, welcome to Subo Central. I tell you what, it is very exciting. One of the biggest stars in the world is in our very studio, in our midst today, and we're thrilled about that.
Okay.
Carl and Lisa and Susan Boyle, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Australia. How does all of this feel?
I wouldn't know, I haven't sobered up yet.
That's not vodka, is it?
You never know, do you?
It's a big glass, whatever's in there.
Welcome to our fair country. Lovely to see you.
It's great to be here, I'll tell you. It really is.
How are you enjoying things so far?
It's absolutely fan-dabby-doozy. People are so friendly. So you are. Whoa! Come on, give me some
You have been out and about too, meeting locals and also some of our wildlife. How was
I've
that?
been to the zoo, yeah. The koala bears were lovely. Do you know this? I could take one of them home.
Yeah.
They're good. They can get a bit nasty though.
Yeah.
You know,
They're nasty?
Yeah, if you get a bit too
Oh,
close, they can scratch.
the one I had with me was a bit sleepy. It was like this.
Yeah, that's that's the good state.
You do have to be careful of them, though. Let me tell you, our native wildlife can be a little bit distracting at times. Now, tell me, how does it feel to be here performing?
It feels really good to be here performing because it's a new area, you know, a new area.
But the world absolutely adores you. I mean, you walked in here, you owned this room before you'd sung a single note. The world absolutely adores you.
Oof.
How does that feel?
Hey, give me some skin. It's brilliant. Hey, come on, thank you. Thank you.
Now, I want to go back in time just a little bit. When the world
50.
When the world first saw you on stage, it was an extraordinary moment. But one of our viewers sent in an interesting question where she said, "What gave you the courage to stand up and do that the first time?"
Well, I think it's probably the desire to change your circumstances because they weren't very happy circumstances. I won't get to them here because they're kind of personal. So you say to yourself, how do you change your circumstances? You've had doors slammed in your face many a time because I went through a lot of auditions. I did 12 auditions. It's just the ability not to accept no, to keep going really. That's really all it is.
And you have kept going, but you've remained exactly the same Susan Boyle that we met when we first saw you sing that song. I saw the other day that you've just bought yourself a house.
I've got that house in West Lothian, honestly.
How does that feel?
It's all right. I use it as a business house and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's really good.
But it's your own. It's a place you can call your own.
I've not repossessed it yet.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You never know.
Do you feel a little bit embarrassed about how big it is because of the change that you've made financially now?
Well, finance doesn't really bother me because I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's nice to have a few things, but I don't make money my God. You know, I mean, a lot of people make money their God. I don't make mine my God. You know, I get on with what I'm doing because I love what I'm doing. I love entertaining people.
And you've got a brand new album out now. Tell us about that.
It's called Someone to Watch Over Me. It's a reflective album, and I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoyed making it.
Well, don't worry,
we enjoyed making it because I had a brilliant producer called Steve Mack working with me. It's really nice.
We're going to enjoy it, and we're going to hear some of your songs. I just want to take you back to that stage again, because I'm not finished with the stage. I'm not finished with the stage.
Finished with the stage.
Okay, so there you get up. And what was your previously biggest audience that you performed in front of?
You were lucky it was 5.
Okay. All right. So 500 million people have seen this thing. You wouldn't have been aware of that at the time, but when you get up, you open your mouth, you nail it. What is that moment like for a woman who doesn't come from much at all?
Who the hell is that? I know who he is. Hey, son, how you doing?
Do you not recognise that woman anymore?
Well, I think the bushy eyebrows have gone, eh?
I love those eyebrows.
I could use it for a brillo pad, I'm telling you. Look at that blooming hair as well. I think I was somebody with just a bit less experience than I've got now, and I've grown up a bit since then, you know. I've learned a lot.
In what way?
Well, I've learned a wee bit about how the media works, you know, and if they don't like you, they'll give you a hell of a time. Just, you know. But, you know, I've grown up a bit since then. I've become more confident, I would say.
And do you still see your old friends?
Of course you do, because it's all important to stay in touch with your roots. All important. Because if you don't do that, they're saying, what kind of person is this on the TV? We touch her with a bargeful. You know.
Yeah.
But you've got to remain rooted, because if you don't have that sense of identity, that sense of who you are.
Yeah. And turning 50, how did that feel for you?
Can't do anything about it.
Thank you for raising that, Lisa.
No, Susan brought it up herself. You're very proud of what you've
Well,
achieved.
if you're rehearsal, you've got 0.5, so I can't win, can I?
And what about the schedule now of going around the world, and for you to see, even to be here in this studio and to be performing to Australian audiences, to have that realisation you're touching that many people all the way around the world?
I'm not really aware of how many people I've touched, really, because when you perform, you tend to be in that kind of bubble of your own, so you're not really aware of the effect you have on people, so I can't really be accurate in an answer to that.
Well, we can promise you your effect is absolutely enormous. That's why we were inundated with people who wanted to come and see you sing this morning. So,
Thank you.
I believe you're going to be doing 3 songs for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ruling out an Australian husband?
It's a bit personal, isn't it?
When you look around the audience, Susan, do you see anybody that might be a lovely contender?
I see the worried ones that might be married. Hiya.
Well, your foot's tapping. I know you're thinking about it.
That's what a kangaroo does when it's angry.
That's that. Ooh. That's
Tiny kangaroo does. Oh, tiny. Oh, he close to you, doesn't he?
beautiful. You're going to be performing after the break. Susan Boyle, everyone. She'll be performing right after this.
Okay,
Stay with us
all right.
on today. It's Sumo Day.
One of the world's biggest stars into our studio to perform some songs, and the first song she's going to sing is an absolute classic, Both Sides Now, written by Joni Mitchell, performed by Judy Collins, but no one sings it like the wonderful Susan Boyle, ladies and gentlemen.
Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and the snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds have looked at life that way, but now, old friend, shake their heads and they tell me I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained. Living every day, I've looked at life from both sides now, win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. It's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life. I really don't know life at all.
Tomorrow, but what we have today is absolutely priceless. How good is Susan Boyle? Unbelievable. An incredible voice and the hottest album in the world right now, Someone to Watch Over Me. And from that album, another of the all-time classics, a song recorded by Edith Piaf, Nat King Cole, another of Susan's favourites. It's a cracker. Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Boyle performing Autumn Leaves.
Autumn leaves under frozen souls, hungry hands turning soft and old. My hero crying as we stood out there in the cold, like these autumn leaves and have nothing to hold. Handsome smiles, wearing handsome shoes, too young to say, though I swear he knew. And I hear him singing while he sits there in his chair. Oh, these autumn leaves go around everywhere. And I look at you, and I see me making noise so restlessly. But now it's quiet, and I can hear you sing. That little fish don't cry, my little fish don't cry. Autumn leaves, they are fading now. That smile I'd lost, well, I found somehow, because you still live on in my father's eyes. These autumn leaves, oh, these autumn leaves, oh, these autumn leaves are yours tonight.
she heads back to the UK. This afternoon, we have one more song from her today. It was written especially for her debut album, which has sold 10 million copies around the world. A song that tells the journey of her life story. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Susan Boyle with Who I Was Born to Be.
When I was a child, I could see the wind in the trees, and I heard a song in the breeze. It was there singing out my name. But I'm not a girl. I've known the taste of defeat, and I've finally grown to believe it will all come around again. Though I may not know the answers, I can finally say I'm free. And if the questions lead me here, then I'm who I was born to be. So here am I, open arms and ready to stand. I've got the world in my hands, and it feels like my turn to fly. And though I may not know the answers, I can finally say I'm free. If the questions let me hear, then I am who I was born to be. When I was a child, there were flowers that bloomed in the night, unafraid to take in the light, unashamed to have break the dawn. Though I may not know the answers, I can finally say I'm free. If the questions let me hear, then I'm who I was born to be. I'm who I was born